Ladies and gentlemen, as always, welcome to 5 Minutes with Sean, probably 10. I am your host, Sean Welsh, and on today's episode, we are going to get into something that I am extremely passionate about. It actually drives me pretty nuts the more I think about it. And to give you the context here, or basically to kind of give you the idea of what it is, in dealerships, I believe you either have a selling problem or you have an opportunity problem. And in my humble opinion, most people have a selling problem, not an opportunity problem. So let's jump into what I mean by that. In the most basic context, a selling problem is if you have enough phone calls, email leads, people walking through your front door, but aren't selling cars. Now, this is only possible to know is if you're tracking things religiously. So an opportunity is as discussed, right? It's phone calls, it's emails, it's showroom visits, it's service customers. It's all the people that could possibly be involved or have an opportunity to sell a car to. And that is really what it comes down to. I think that most dealerships have more than enough opportunities, but would rather use a gigantic net, right, to just drag the ocean floor as opposed to just taking a much more targeted approach, dropping a smaller net where we've done our research and we know our school of fish are going to be. But even in that sort of explanation, most dealerships who even use a small net might even have a hole in it and not realize it right until they go to pull their fish out. So dealerships have so many different layers to them. You have salesmen, you have sales managers, you have general sales managers, you have general managers. Sometimes you have selling managers, closing managers. I mean, I could bore you with all the levels of people that are involved here. And so when you have all of these different layers, they all have to be working together, right? Pulling on the rope the same way to have success. And so what I've learned over my years and years of being in dealerships is that, hey, Sean, look, I'm good, man. I've got everyone that comes in our door, we close them, dude. All right. So I just need more leads. How many leads do you have now? I've got 100, and I'm selling 5 cars a month. All right. So you got 5%. That's not a very good job. Well, yeah, but if I can get it to 200 leads and sell 10, that's how I'll continually up the number. So what this leads to is a bunch of leads that maybe not you have coverage for, but more importantly, this idea that you can just throw the net out super wide and hope to catch something. It's pretty frustrating for someone like me because I watch it from the inside out and having lived the life, right? I'm not a car guy who didn't do the job, who acts like he's done the job. I've done the job. I've made a living in this industry since I was 18 years old on my own, okay? And so I have a ton of passion for this industry. As a matter of fact, you may have already heard me say it, but my business partner told me the other day, he thinks I'm the only person in America that feels bad for car dealers. I feel bad for them because A, they're being taken advantage of, and I know that doesn't make sense to most of you, but I see the financials, I see the vendor relationships, I see how it goes, and 2, they're just wasting money because they think they have to. And they think they have to because they don't want to address that they truly have a selling problem and not an opportunity problem. I've got a client currently who is always telling me, hey, Sean, what are we going to do to get me more leads, get me more leads, get me more leads? Well, how do you feel about your sales process? Well, I could use some help. How many salesmen do you have? I'm understaffed. Hold on a second, guys. What are we doing? I mean, those of you listening, how many of you think you have a selling problem? And how many of you think you have an opportunity problem? Now that you've answered the question, take a quick step backwards and think about it one more time. Do you truly track every single opportunity that comes to your store? Phone, email, service drive opportunities, all of it. Do you really measure it? Because if you don't, this conversation is irrelevant. You have a selling problem if you don't track it all. Until you can prove otherwise, you always have a selling problem. Now, there's a couple other factors to consider here. One, destination stores. I have a client who is a destination store. His store is off of 2 main roads, back around the corner and back behind that corner. That's where his store is. So he relies extremely heavily on the phone, on email, on his website. So he knows everything that happens in his store because it's a destination store. I've got other clients who are on what I would call car row, which is anywhere you find multiple brands in one place. Could be 2, could be 4. Hell, in Chicago, we've got a road that feels like it's got every single brand times 2 represented on the same stretch of road. So if you have that, it's probably even harder to track because people are just always continually coming through your front door. Not to mention when things are in what I consider high tide. And now remember, we are based here in Wisconsin. And so in the Midwest, high tide is anywhere from basically April through December. November, October tend to slow down. December only picks up because it's year end. And so that's the deal there. But when you look at it and you say to yourself, okay, do I have a selling problem or a lead problem? Well, what do you normally see in a given year? Do you see yourself need to spend more money to get more opportunities? Or you see yourself not selling the ones that you have? And some people are very honest about this, and others just really shy away from it by saying, yeah, we don't have a selling problem, we're good. Well, do you have a staffing problem? Because I think we all know right now in our industry, staffing is a huge, huge issue. And it's not something that's done easily. And it's not something that is people are being able to keep either, right? Retention is the issue. So still goes back to selling or an opportunity problem. The biggest thing I think that people need to really understand is that proper training, and I'm going to be the first to tell you that I was a corporate trainer for a while, and I gave up. We were going to start our company as a training company. We gave up on that model almost instantaneously. One, it's a severely diluted pool, just severely. There's just a million people who can do it for you. Two, I learned something extremely important, that once I leave a store, if management isn't bought into whatever company I work for, they will not tell it to their salespeople. As a matter of fact, they can almost tell them the opposite. So you bring in a trainer, you have them sit with your people, you go through it. Everyone says, man, this was great. This is really awesome. Then they go to the floor to try and do what they were told to do. They walk up to the desk goes, whoa, is that from the trainer? He don't work here, I work here, and I get back to work, do it the way we do things, which is only going to lead to worse behavior, right? And again, those of you listening, think about this. Ask yourself this question. Do I do what my manager wants, or do I do what I know I can do to sell cars? Most of you are going to probably do what your manager wants because that's how the structure is. Those of you who do what you want are probably selling cars and are given the leeway to do so. In our industry, as much as a good old boys club, you've got to be good at your job, even to be a part of the good old boys club. Now, I'm a card-carrying member since 1998, so I understand it's hard to break into our business, but it's hard because the job is hard. It's hard to make a living at a job like this. So, look, that's been about 5 minutes-ish. A little bit over. So remember, I love interaction. I love to hear what you guys think. You will not find me on the social media, so don't go there to find me. Text me, 262-278-0157. Email me, Sean@carbizdonebetter.com. Those are the ways to get a hold of me. That's what I look forward to hearing from you. You'll see our posts. You'll even see these episodes on social media, but I am not on the other end of that line. So don't worry about that, okay? Hope you guys have a great day.